I now have a great position because I'm introducing somebody who doesn't need an introduction to anybody. This lady is the co-chair and CEO of the Panetta Institute for Public Policy. She's well known as a great friend of everybody in Monterey County. I cannot even begin to list the number of activities and involvements she has in the county and the depth and breadth of the areas in which she reaches and serves. She's simply an outstanding person. And more than that, she operates for the last 17 years the Monterey County Reads program, which trains tutors and puts them into low-performing schools to help enhance the education quality in those schools. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce Sylvia M. Panetta.
Thank you, Ron. Thank you very much for that kind introduction and for helping put this program, this forum together. This is quite an undertaking, and as I look out at the room and see the tremendous turnout, I know it doesn't just happen. It takes a lot of work, and I'm very pleased to be part of this. Good work, Ron, and to all of your staff and to your board. Here in this room, there are business people, educators, parents, and elected officials. Together, we make up the community of Monterey County, and today, as a community, we'll address what steps we can take to help our children in the essential effort to obtain literacy skills that they need to live happy, productive, and fulfilling lives, and most importantly, take an active role in our democracy. At the Panetta Institute, our mission is to educate and inform our communities and to inspire young men and women to lives of public service. Literacy is fundamental to this effort because true citizenship is only possible through literacy. The lack of this most important basic skill prevents millions of Americans from fulfilling their potential. Studies have shown that the attainment of literacy leads individuals to happier and more productive lives at home, in the workforce, and in their communities. Literacy is the gateway to productive employment and to the ability to support a family. It is the pathway towards active citizenship and engagement in our democracy. It is essential for everything from the responsibilities of voting for your school board member to voting for the President of the United States. Parents who read raise independent and successful readers and create a legacy of literacy for the future. For these reasons and many more, it's clear that if we hope to have a growing, improving, and successful community in the future, we must provide for the needs of our children today. I've been involved with public education for almost 50 years, starting when I first enrolled my sons in public schools in Washington, D.C., and then New York City. And that was at a time when Leon was first beginning his public service career. At the time, our friends and our colleagues thought that we should enroll our children in private schools, as they did with their children. But Leon and I have always been strong supporters of public education. When our family returned to the Monterey Peninsula, all three of my sons attended local public schools, and throughout all these years, we saw the great challenges in our public schools. It was true in Washington, D.C., and it was true in New York City, and today it is especially true in Monterey County. Our schools are challenged with meeting the needs of our children, but thanks to the hard work of our teachers and other school personnel here in Monterey County, we're making progress. In the past 10 years, the Academic Performance Index, known as API, as you know, for Monterey County schools has risen by 93 points, compared to the overall growth of 82 points for the entire state of California. Monterey County's API shows consistent and steady improvement while serving a significant higher percentage of English language learners, socioeconomically disadvantaged, and migrant students than found in the total state. However, there remains much room for improvement, and our schools still perform lower than the state average. Quite simply, Monterey County schools need our help, and our children are more than deserving in this extra attention. Our children are not only our greatest resource, they are also our greatest responsibility. And indeed, they hold the key to our future. Education is the cornerstone of our democracy. You all know that. Without an educated citizenry, we cannot have a functioning system of democracy. Today's children will go on to be our employees and employers, our colleagues, our police officers, our firefighters, our teachers, our nurses, soldiers, doctors, attorneys, our business owners, and more and more and more. They will be tomorrow's voters and tomorrow's leaders. You know, while I'm talking about Monterey County Reads, let me point something else out. We have a series of other programs that involve young people, children, that involve high school students, that involve college students, and postgraduate. And one of the things I do when I begin the courses is that I say to these students, you're looking at the leaders of today, and I always have other people in the room. But tomorrow and the next day and the next day, we're not going to be here. You have to be ready to take over. You have to be ready to be the leaders of our communities. And as I look out at this room, I'm looking at leaders, all of you, leaders in our community, active participants, people who want to see everything improve. But you, like me, are not going to be here forever. We have got to prepare our children, our students, to take over. And I have to tell you, and I must confess, that when I say that, I really don't believe it. I'd like to think I'm going to be here forever. But I know I won't. Yet, we cannot hope to grow these leaders if we ask schools and parents to do it alone. There is an essential relationship between the community and our education system, and the development of community resources is key to its long-term success. Monterey County schools are suffering through tremendous financial burdens. We all know teachers and administrators have our children's best interest at heart. They truly do. But the reality of shrinking resources and the growing demands of larger class sizes and the needs of English language learners means educators are being asked to do more with less. The demands are also great for Central Coast parents. Many parents in our region are new immigrants here to achieve the American dream, to provide a better life for their children. Frequently, the pursuit of this dream requires working long hours and multiple jobs. These families are sacrificing for their children, and they also need our help. For our children and our nation to succeed, we must form a triangle, as I always explain it. A triangle that links the family with the schools and the community, and places the child protectively in the center. Where one branch is struggling, another branch steps in, and together these three branches provide the strength and resilience necessary to nurture, to protect, and to guide our children to their brightest possible future. That is what we've done at the Panetta Institute through what we call the Monterey County Reads program. We've stepped in. We work to meet the needs of our children and youth, and through our work, we hope these young people have a better chance at achieving this American dream that we all talk about. At the Institute, we saw a need. We developed a course of action, and for 17 years now, we have worked tirelessly to implement our mission and improve it where it was possible and necessary. And most importantly, we've been tenacious in our efforts and have never let challenges or setbacks deter us from the importance of our work and the need for direct intervention for our students. When discussing a topic as vital as the future of our children and our nation, discourse will only take us so far. In the end, every single one of us in this room and beyond must move beyond consideration of the challenge and begin to take the real steps towards progress and solution. We launched the Monterey County Reads first as part of a national initiative called America Reads, and eventually we made it the locally focused Monterey County Reads. Community members, universities, school boards, and the Monterey County Office of Education with Superintendent of Schools Nancy Katowski joined us in working to help children in Monterey County read at grade level by the end of 3rd grade. And the community responded. Over the years, volunteers from a wide variety of backgrounds have committed themselves to this effort. Today, we are in our 17th year of placing volunteers in 1st through 3rd grade classrooms throughout this county. During that time, we've trained over 2,700 volunteers, and together they have logged beyond 105,000 hours reading with children. Last year alone, our volunteers worked with nearly 1,000 children in 37 different schools throughout this county. And it's not just our numbers that show the program is making a difference, frankly. Last year, we were so pleased to receive multiple honors from the Monterey County School Boards Association, the Monterey Bay Teachers Association, and the Monterey Peninsula Unified School District Board of Trustees. This recognition tells me that we are doing something right. We are helping our schools, assisting our teachers, and most importantly, creating a better future for our children. Our volunteers come from colleges, businesses, military installations, faith-based groups, community organizations, and more. They range in ages from 17 to 94. Yes, we have a couple volunteers who are ages 94, and they don't hesitate to tell us that when they come to our volunteer recognition ceremony. It's amazing. And they come from communities ranging from Big Sur to the Monterey Peninsula, to North Monterey County, to Salinas, and down to Salinas and South County. What unites our volunteers is a love of reading and a commitment to give our children the tools that they need to succeed and to prosper. This Panetta Institute program is designed to serve the best interests of the children while we work to accommodate the needs of school sites and our volunteers. Working with all of these elements while tracking and compiling data is no easy undertaking. But it is what has made our program successful, and it is why we are still here helping children after 16 years and now into the 17th. Our volunteers read one-to-one with youngsters. Then they do that to ensure that the children can focus on reading. They read in line of sight of certificated school site personnel and have systems in place to routinely communicate with the teacher in a non-disruptive manner. Our literacy specialist travels to each school site and conducts pre- and post-assessments with participating children. In this way, we ensure that our volunteers are only reading with those children who are just below grade level, which is where our volunteers are trained to read and can have the greatest impact. We get constant feedback from our volunteers, from participating teachers, from community members, and from the Monterey County Office of Education. When something's not working, we identify the problem, we find a solution, and we make a change. But we remain true to our mission. That is, to help children in Monterey County read at grade level by the end of 3rd grade. And our partners and the participating community members are extremely essential to this work. When children work with members of the community, they realize that everyone cares about them and that everyone sets expectations for them through this attention to their learning. And finally, children realize that this respect and this care for them as students is what will help them as future members and leaders of our society. This wonderful formula of parents, teachers, and members of the community, representative of the groups of people in this room today, is what can motivate students to learn more and learn better. Our students recognize these expectations. They also see the respect and the attention from the members of the community, and they see themselves as an integrated part of their society. And that is so important. The best example of this is the story I've heard my staff tell about a new Monterey County Reads volunteer. Our staff had arrived to introduce this volunteer to the school site and also to the teachers with whom she would be working. The young volunteer was working with Monterey County Reads as part of her service learning requirement at CSUMB, and there she was a freshman. While touring the school with our staff, she shared that she herself had once been a struggling reader. And while attending an elementary school in Monterey County, she had a Monterey County Reads volunteer assigned to her. 12 years later, with the help of that volunteer and the dedication of many teachers and many administrators, instead of a life of illiteracy, this young girl was enrolled in college and was now giving back to her community, following the Monterey County Reads model she had witnessed during her childhood. Our children look to every one of us to guide them and to inspire them. They really do. They look around them and they see who's paying attention to them. They see who's caring about them. This is our joyous and most essential responsibility as members of our democracy. That's true for everyone in this room, and that's, as you know, why you're here. At the Panetta Institute, we've embraced this burden with steadfast skill, with determination, and with creativity. Today's readers will be tomorrow's leaders. Together, we can provide them skills to lead and show them the path to follow. Together, we have the resources and skills to make this possible. Our greatest failure would be inaction. That is the challenge I leave you with today, that we do not leave this room with simply another set of talking points, but that we leave together with a plan of action. Our children deserve nothing less. Thank you.